New additions to the homestead, major upgrade to the cabin, and an unfortunate death here on the mountain. Let's get this adventure started. Come on. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the mountain. Well, we got a lot of changing that's about to take place here in the cabin. As y'all know, this was a storage unit for about the last 6 or 7 months since I moved into the tiny house there. But I have family coming into town for the big meetup that we're having at Blue Mountain Lake here in about a month and a half. So I need to get this place ready for some guests. So what's coming up here this week on Come On Mountain is we are moving all of the stuff out of the cabin. We're going to paint the floors. We're going to sand all of the logs in here. That's not going to be an easy project, but my plan is to actually sand all of these logs right here. And I want to actually do the burn technique on the logs themselves. And then all of the chinking here on the log, I plan on painting the same color as the floor to give it a very, very dynamic look. I'm not going to put the flake on the walls, but I will be doing the flake on the floor just like we did in the tiny house. But first thing, everything's got to come out of here to be able to get the floors done, which is not a whole lot that's left because I did remove the kitchen and got the kitchen in the tiny house set up. So I got a little bit of stuff there. A little bit of bigger furniture here. These are the two heavy ones right here. I got to take the wood stove out of here and the safe, and that right there is not light as well. Move the bed and all of that, but I've been needing to have about 3 or 4 days of like really good weather where I can bring all of this stuff out of the cabin without worrying about it getting messed up. I have not had that in the last couple of weeks, so I've been putting this project off, but it looks like Mother Nature is going to work with me. Why I'm out here sanding all of these logs and stuff, I also plan on sanding the stairwell right here and doing a pretty cool little technique on that, and also make that stand out a little bit. I've got my son, my brother, my parents, my sister-in-law, and my nieces and nephew all coming to the mountain, the River Valley meetup there at Blue Mountain Lake. So I got to make this a priority. I need to go ahead and get it done to make sure that everybody's got a place to sleep comfortably. So we're going to get that started this week. So let's go check on a couple of other things that are coming here on the mountain. I've also got the part for the Jeep in to be able to fix the Jeep. So somewhere in the schedule, I need to turn into a mechanic and go ahead and get the Jeep running again. That way I can save some money on fuel, riding around. Shouldn't be that difficult of a project. It's just a matter of finding the time to actually get it done. Midnight, what are you doing? You sitting over here sunbathing and cleaning yourself? Good morning. Good morning, sweetheart. Midnight sure has came a long ways, guys. A long ways. And guys, we got somebody else that's actually been staying in the cabin here lately since the baby goats were born. Ain't that right, Eclipse? Ain't that right? You been staying in the cabin, huh? Yeah? What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you want to say good morning? Good morning. Good morning, huh? Good morning. But the first project that we're going to get on to this week is taking all of this and some of that and building nesting boxes for the chickens. Weather has kind of stalled that project a little bit for me, and I need to make that a priority. to give the chickens a good place to be able to lay their eggs and to keep them from getting very dirty, which is causing a lot more work on my end. And of course we got the yard goat Coco and Domino out here hanging out with me. Are you taking care of all the weeds? Coco the yard goat. One of the other projects while we're back here is the patio well shed. Y'all seen about a month ago I bought a new toolbox and some storage stuff for the patio well shed because the goats destroyed the inside of that shed right there. So before I take on too many huge projects here around the mountain, I need to go ahead and address that because it is a goat-tastrophe inside that canopy. So we need to get that addressed as well, but I'm going to focus on sanding the cabin and painting the floors first while I got the great weather, and then we'll move on to that. I also got 2 windows for the tiny house that still need to be installed in the bedroom area. That'll be coming as well. Hopefully I can get started on that probably towards the end of the week. It all depends on how well the sanding of all of those logs go. It's very important to me to go ahead and get that space situated. You know, I want everybody to be comfortable. All right, so let's go check on the baby goats, see how they're doing. They're getting big, guys. They're getting big. Good morning, Chanel. I hear you. What are you doing, babies? What y'all guys doing? They're like, we need groceries. Chanel said, not today. Not today. Icy. What are you doing, Icy? So the baby goats are happy and healthy, and if you don't know, the female will be going to Simple Life Reclaim and the male will be going to Country Road Cure. Country Road Cure got the first pick and they chose the male. And I believe that's a good pick because he is a little stunner. And of course, Coco's gonna come see what's going on. I thought you was over there eating groceries. Domino. What are you doing? All right, guys, let's take a little stroll. We're gonna stroll on down to the power lines. We're gonna go ahead and give you an update on what that looks like after bush hogging and growing back out for a couple of days. We're gonna see if any grass has started to appear down there and see if we got any green, because when I cut it, it was nothing but briars and it was just a big old brown slate. But I do believe that we got some grass starting to come in. Just gonna have to keep cutting it, working the land, and try to get it to turn back into all grass. Oh yeah? You done found your energy? Domino said, I want to check it out. Check it out, guys. We have got a lot more green already starting to take place. Now that all these thick briars are cut down, the grass that was up underneath it can start taking over. I'm going to give it about 2 more weeks, and then I'm going to come down here and bush hog again and just keep it cut and see what kind of grass that we got. I'm actually in the mix right now of looking for some harrows for the back of Uber or Lyft to be able to kind of disc this all up a little bit, be able to put some different types of grass seed down here, some cover crops, that type of stuff, and start kind of making this area right here be ready to turn into a nice green pasture for future cows here on Come On Mountain. But you can already see a huge difference in the amount of grass that is coming up. As I said in the bush hog video, that's the goal. We're a long ways away from that, but this right here is a great start. I know Domino appreciates it because now he can run around everywhere. But like I said, Mother Nature, we've had some big storms run through here this past week and a half. You can see all the water coming from the new property right there. Still got quite a bit of water flow that's happening. We got a creek coming from right there and a little run right here. So many different things to do around here on the mountain, trying to get the land ready for animals, trying to keep the building process going, trying to clean up afterwards, and also get organization here on the mountain. Whew, it is like having a battle on multiple fronts, but all you can do is chip away at it and keep on going. Check out this. Looks like we got a gopher hole or something right here on the edge. I wonder what's in there. Probably some danger noodles. All right, Domino, let's go to the next spot. Come on. Well, as you can see, now we are at the boneyard, guys. With all this rain that we've been having, we're about to burn this other big pile right here as well and see if we can get that burnt down while we're still having a lot of this wet weather. But we also got a lot of other changes that are coming to the boneyard area here soon. For one, the boat is about to be fixed. I got one of you guys actually coming here at the beginning of April, take a look at the boat and see if we can get the boat running. So I'm excited about that. And here this spring, towards the end of spring, we will be putting back up that 20 by 20 shed that I was gifted, and that should make a huge difference to this area right there. I have decided I'm going to use that shed as the new sawmill area and build some lean-tos off of it and stuff. We'll get into that later on in the future, but I've got an idea that I seen over there at the Bearded Carpenter, and I think I'm going to utilize that. It seems to be a very good idea, and being that I have the shed to make it happen, I'd like to give it a shot. As you can see, I got an old John Deere on the trailer that I got from Bitty Boo Homestead. I need to get that unloaded and see what's wrong with that, because hopefully we're gonna have some grass here real soon. One of the other reasons I brought y'all over here to the boneyard, guys, is because those two temporary Harbor Freight sheds that I got over there, once I clean out the goat catastrophe, one, it will be moving over here to this area, and so will the other one. I'm going to try to get all storage and that kind of stuff off of the actual main yard area, because where those are is the future home of the raised beds, and spring is close. So that is why that project has to start happening very soon, because I'm wanting to build raised beds out of the logs that I've already got cut down and kind of make it look like log cabin walls as it steps up. So I need to get those two sheds out of the way and get Uber back, clear out and level that area, bring in some rock, and start building raised beds here in the next couple of weeks. I'm already a little bit behind the 8 ball as far as gardening goes this year, so I really need to make it a priority and kind of get it going. I don't want to go another year without being able to actually grow some vegetables here, because one of the big goals for this year is to start making the property here start self-sustaining itself a little bit more. Last year a lot of these were babies and stuff, and I was you know, just getting them to the point where they can start having babies and producing. And now, as you can see, we got baby goats, we got chickens, and now, guys, we've got baby rabbits. Check this out. The mama sits up top there over her babies. She's already arranged them. Now, they're about a week old at this point, a little bit older, so they're starting to get their hair. I've not showed them up to this point because I wanted y'all to be able to see them with actual hair. But I've got 7 white ones. Ooh, look at this, look, guys. And then there's 2 gray ones, like the daddy. Oh, what's going on, buddy? Look at that. Look how cute. The eyes ain't quite opened yet. They're starting to open. We do still have 1 runt right here that I don't think it's going to make it. See the little guy? You're doing a good job, Mama. You're doing a good job, Mama. But she ended up having 10 babies, guys. 10. And unfortunately, one of the ones, there was 3 with color. You had the 2 solid gray ones, and they came out nice and big and strong. But there was 2 runts, the little white one that you just seen, and then there was one that had color that was white and gray and actually had like a tiger pattern. It was really, really cool looking. That one did not make it. That was the smallest of the 10, and I believe that the other one's probably not going to make it as well. So I'm probably going to end up with about 8 babies, which is a huge amount for a rabbit. I think Country Road Curing them had 5 with their first babies born, and I think Tim said that 8 is the most that he's ever had. So if I end up with 8 that survived at the end of the day, I'm gonna call that a win. But it is a very unfortunate thing about homesteading and stuff like this, because you know the babies are so cute and stuff, and you're gonna have loss on a homestead. There's no way around it. It's just a matter of when. And so I was a little bit disappointed whenever I went out there and seen the gray and white one had passed. And it really sucked for me, because that was my favorite one. I love the color pattern that it had. But I knew it was unlikely to actually survive, unfortunately, just because of how small it was compared to the other ones. And but that's part of homesteading, guys. You got to be compassionate and do the best that you can, but you're gonna have loss. It's just the nature of the beast to live in this lifestyle, and trying to raise and grow your own food. Your gardens ain't always gonna work out like you want them to. The birthing process and babies ain't always gonna come out like you want them to. And sometimes you got to deal with predators and stuff like that as well. So it is what it is. But yeah, we had a death on Come On Mountain. And then we got tobacco. I need to take this cylinder off this week, guys, and get this to the machine shop and get this fixed, because tobacco is definitely going to be needed for this area because of these. I want to get all of these stumps out, and then plus I want to take out some of these smaller trees and get this area cleaned up, because like I said earlier, this is the new raised garden bed area where I plan on doing all of my vegetables and growing and stuff. And eventually the chickens will end up moving over here beside the garden area in a custom built chicken house for them. And I'm going to go ahead and move all of the rabbit stuff over here, so the Playboy mansion will be back here as well. And we'll be expanding the rabbit enclosures and all of that too, and building a lot of grow out areas and stuff for them. I would like to get it to a point that I can wire the bottom and give the rabbits like little run to kind of play in, kind of like the chickens have, but that's coming in the future. I haven't done an update in a while, guys, kind of behind the scenes and stuff. I've been putting out a lot of videos with the tiny house, finishing the kitchen and the bathroom, and been getting great responses from you guys with all of that, so thank you very, very much. Also with the chickens coming, we put those videos out, and now we got baby rabbits. So it is getting close to spring, and spring is springing. We got a whole lot going on. As you can see, we got a lot of green coming up in the trees. We still got a lot of missing leaves, but you can see the purples and the greens. Spring is right here, guys, and the mountain is coming alive, which means I got to come alive and get a whole lot of stuff done. I've got a monumental task of stuff that I need to get done, and I'm just going to start picking a project and chipping away at it one by one and trying to complete as much as I can. It's a game plan, not a set plan. It's things that I want to get done, and I'm just going to chip away at them on a priority level. And that priority might change depending on what's going on here on the mountain or off the mountain. But that's kind of where I'm at right now as far as the thought process. There's also a lot of big changes about to happen to the tiny house, guys, but we're not going to get into that quite yet. I want to get some of these other odds and end things kind of knocked out. That's why I was pushing so hard to finish the inside of the tiny house with the kitchen and the bathroom, is because I knew I was going to need to get outside and focus on some other buildings and some other projects before spring actually gets here. That right there is number one, so my family can be comfortable when they come. And that area right there is number two, because I want to grow some groceries this spring for Come On Mountain. I am ready for a healthier lifestyle, more vegetables and stuff like that, and home cooked meals. That's why the kitchen was so important to me. Now I need to get the garden area done so I can grow some vegetables. But I have already bought the windows for right there and right there. So I will work that into the mix here because I at least want to get that finished. That will officially finish the inside of the tiny house for now. What do you think about it, Domino? I hope y'all like this little update, guys. Just trying to give y'all a little outline of what I'm thinking in my head and what needs to kind of happen around here. Let me know your thoughts at the end of this. I know, guys, it's a monumental task with a whole lot of things going on. But if you followed me for a while, once things get to moving, you know that they get to moving. Well, spring is about to spring, guys. Let's see how much we get done. All right, guys, until we see each other again, come on, let's go on another adventure.